I'm here at Temple at War at Cressing Temple Barns, displaying alongside the gentlemen of Fusiliers Regiment 73, who are technically Prussian but recruited from Hanover, and they probably prefer them as Hanoverians.
I attended Temple at War as a member of the 1914-21 Society, but had been kindly invited by Simon, aka Hauptmann von Saxenburg, of Fusiliers Regiment 73 to incorporate myself into the unified German display. This was truly an excellent location for our purposes, a highly atmospheric barn, considerably older than our period, which the Fusiliers had completely transformed into a World War I German space. There were quite a few of them and a great deal of kit, so the overall effect was very impressive. They camped out in there overnight, showing truly admirable dedication. I rather regret not filming more when everyone was present. There was a German Red Cross nurse, and I even got the temporary loan of a new recruit to my own regiment for the day. Cheers, Matt. That was truly memorable.
We're going to have a wander around and have a look at the other World War I displays mostly. I'll just show you what I have here with me first of all. So I just pan around carefully. This is some of my own stuff here. Got munitions for the 7.7cm field gun and optics, and there's my fancy Saxon Kugelhelm and Kugelhaube, which I don't get out much. It needs improvement, needs a lower ball, it needs a better cover. Frankly, I need a new one that fits me properly, but that requires some money. There's some stuff that my hosts, the infantry of the 73rd Fusiliers Regiment have. They've got a very nice selection of rifles here, including lovely G88, which you don't see very often. Oh, I've managed to recruit a cannoneer for the day. So there are actually two of us, which is a first for the regiment, which is very exciting for us. So I'm going to go around and see what else I can find from World War I period. Some of my colleagues here from the infantry, from the 73rd Fusiliers. So they have a phenomenal amount of equipment here, which is very impressive. I really do like the attention to detail of having like the white fatigue uniforms as well, which is very nice. Got all these grenades. Got a lovely selection of hand grenades, including the truly horrible discus grenade, which was notoriously dangerous to its own users, and some gas protection, and a whole load of paperwork here, stamps and things. As I say, this unit is very thorough. Let's see, we've got some British stuff set up here. Very nice Stokes mortar with some of its ammunition. Really very unpleasant to be on the receiving end of. Lovely selection of food here, including, I think, some of that very nice tinned beef that Germans were so fond of, if available, if captured from the British. The ever popular Vickers gun. Tend to see a lot of them around. Oh, nice British rifle selection here. And they have got a Lewis, isn't that gorgeous? But, I must say, very pleased to see the swords here as a sword enthusiast myself. It is a very large World War I turnout here today. This beautiful heliograph, get a load of that. With the sign, Morse code signals that would be used.
The army. This is personal equipment. This is something that someone had made for them. Probably an officer. Because A, they would have probably access to chainmail, having stayed home or something like that. Jeeves gone, snip a bit off my suit of armour, or they had the money to go out to buy it. Leather back to give you a bit of protection. The idea was to go to the breast pocket of the tunic, the same function. Might stop a bullet, don't think it would. Or,
Heart, basically.
yeah. So that's right for an officer. But the average man.
What do we have here? Oh my. VADs and Vickers. I like the concept. My comrade again there. Our comrades of the 10th Essex, a unit tend to see around at local events a lot. Yes, this road is liable to be shelled, and that's my job, of course, to shell this road.
Okay, so what was it used?
I'd be interested to see what the relationship is like.
It seems pretty much every British group seems to have at least one Vickers gun. It really is quite intimidating.
German barbed wire, isn't it? You can tell the closer the barbs are together, ours was like further apart. That's German.
Yeah. To be fair, most of what that was I purchased here a few years ago.
Yeah.
I quite like having the archaeology.
Debbie here again today with her women's work in the Great War display.
They did all the things that the men did except for fighting. It was only
Oh, the rifles are here. There doesn't seem to be anyone manning it at the moment. Oh, we see the very nice pre-war colourful uniform.
We used to go to a farming call for
Oh,
summer.
the Royal Flying Corps and or Royal Air Force also represented.
He said it was my job to start it.
Well, here's something you don't see very often. This is a trench catapult.
Well, it started off with first field.
A really impractical contraption.
Bicarbonate of soda.
German
solution
equivalent
on
being
first
the
field
Bosch
to
Wurfmaschine,
stop the chlorine.
which is something you very rarely
Ammonia
see in
works better.
photos.
And where do you get ammonia
Because, well,
from at short notice?
it's an awful lot of
You get
trouble
buckets of it.
to deliver a very small payload
Stick it on your face.
quite dangerously, but fantastic to see that reproduced.
Yeah. And then you got like a selection of goggles they tried, like from the Royal Flying Corps with the leather ones to rubber swimming goggles and safety goggles.
They're similar to what you have for your swimming, aren't they?
And but yeah, the French were the first to use chemical warfare. I was in 14, and they used tear gas. And then
Rarely acknowledged.
during the
My colleagues here
the British
from the 14121 Society.
and they were seen with like green gas.
Oh, the Austrian Berndorfer helmet. We don't see those very often.
British just saw well, they're using tear gas because gas warfare was not lawful.
He's very nice.
The British just dismissed it. They thought, well, tear gas, they're using tear gas. It dissipates really
And over here is the absolutely excellent Royal Army Medical Corps display, which we also saw a few weeks ago
When the REMC went to war, what they brought with them was
at gunpowder mills.
So you can see here, very simple design. So we have the Victorian thigh splint, we have the Victorian arm splint, as you can see there, and this is the Liston splint. Now, Liston was quite an interesting character, very typical Victorian surgeon. But when it comes to surgery, you can boast the quickest amputation. Now, this is pre-anaesthesia, so this was quite down on this. 30 seconds.
So these Tommies are setting up Vickers gun.
Get on the front. Actually, that again, I don't think I can do front.
It's got to be at the back here. Yeah, you put you sit behind it. That's right. Yeah, with your legs to sit. All right, what we do, we'll go back over there. See what we'll just go to here. If we just go to here, turn around and we'll do it again. Yeah. So everyone get their positions when they're ready.
Yeah, I'll get back to it. Actually, yeah, you'll do it. I'll just do the ammunition.
Yeah, there is fine. No more than halfway.
Actually, no, no, think about it.
It's mine. Just put it on the ground.
Leave it there.
Leave it there for a moment. I was going to say, so not only am I going to be doing
Why don't you switch with half?
I could do that.
Oh, there is ice cream somewhere.
I am going to. Okay, yeah, I'll swap these in no, we're not doing that.
Really is extraordinarily Vickers gun intensive here today. Not a job to be envied.
This is the extended version of the interview with my Austrian comrade from the 1914 to 21 Society, which I have already released as a YouTube short. This has already had more than twice as many hits as anything else I've ever released. It's clearly undeniable. Max is a star. I aim to shoot more of these show and tell interviews in future. So, if you're a World War I reenactor and spot me wandering about with my camcorder at an event looking lost, feel free to volunteer.
Good afternoon, I'm Max from the 1914 to 21 Society, and I'm portraying an Austrian KK Landesschützen officer, which is the Austrian Mountain Troops officer in the First World War of the Austro-Hungarian Army. So here we've got a vast array of Austro-Hungarian items here. I'll firstly describe what's on myself. So this uniform is Feldgrau, similar to the German colour, and it's introduced in September 1915. So I've got my snow goggles here, and that's all snow blindness, because if you're up in the mountains, it's all white. You know, you want some goggles so you don't get blinded by that. You've got your black grouse feather here, which is an alpine bird, so you have your alpine cultural significance there. And you've also got a few items here which are called Kappenzeichen, which are cap badges here. So I have my Edelweiss, my Tyrolean eagle, which you can also see on the shield there, and also my 3rd Army badge, which represents the Russian invasion in 1914. So at the start of the war in 1914, the Landesschützen fought against the Russians, and then when Italy declared war on the 23rd of May 1915, they got moved to Tyrol to defend their home county, because that's where they were raised from. I've got my Edelweiss here, and this is to signify that I'm a mountain troop, and I've also got my lieutenant star there, because I'm a junior lieutenant, or 2nd lieutenant, or lieutenant in the term. This is a standard Austrian field cap here, and we've got the badge of our brother regiment or sister regiment, the 2nd Landesschützen, because we're Landesschützen number 1. And the war was started off in this colour for the Austrians until they moved to the green colour. On my belt we have the Royal Cipher, which you can also see on my shoulder. And I also have the officer's short sword here. Although admittedly, because I'm recently promoted, the tassels roll. And I'll have my Wastengasser revolver in here, my ammunition in here, and on the back I also have my documents case for maps, compasses and etc. I've got my alpine stockings here, and my shoes here which have lots of cleats on them. And that's for general mountaineering, because contrary to popular belief, you actually have felt-soled shoes when you're doing your rock climbing. If we look to here, this is an off-duty Austrian officer's cap, and this was worn not only by officers but civil servants across the empire who weren't doing military activities. Here are some maps from the 1911 survey that the Austrians did. Pardon the beetroot on there. So here would be where about Venice is, and the Austrian-Italian border runs along here, and the Italians would continuously try to attack the Isonzo. And I believe on the 12th battle is what's known as Caporetto or Karfight, it's German or something around that, I can't exactly remember, where the Germans and Austrians had a joint offensive and pushed the Italians to the River Piave.
And our sister regiment, FAR 68, was there for that one.
Was it?
Yes.
I never knew that. Cool fact. I've also got 2 Stahlhelms here, which this is a German model, but it is Austrian style because the chin strap is Austrian, so you can detach it, and it's also got the depot stamp of our regiment there.
Very nice attention to detail.
If you wanted to get close up on that there. Very cool. And this is the Isonzo brown colour, and the Isonzo was a plane which a lot of fighting took place. Here is the Berndorfer helmet, which is
my goodness.
It's a resin cast replica because the real ones are about
It's
£3
very
to
rare,
get.
yes.
That is a model which the Austrians produced about 140,000 of. So they're quite rare to get, hence the price, but this was a model which they also used. And commonly you'd see the helmet's actually worn back to front for better visibility.
Yeah, it looks like it would be less unbalanced that way than the German one would.
Yes, no, definitely. To finish off, we'll finish off on a water bottle and playing cards. So this is a water bottle, the 1909 model, but this one's from 1915. The cork isn't original, but it fits, so it looks the part.
It looks fantastic.
And finally, we have some Austrian playing cards here. I can't say they're authentic from the period, but they have the same print, but they're laminated. But
would you play Skat and Doppelkopf and so on, just like we would?
Wiener Rummy. Wiener Rummy is the game that we would play.
I wonder if this would be in Saxon use as well, considering the very close cultural connections with you lot.
Yes, definitely. I haven't looked into it, but I am trying to find more card games. There is the Empress.
Oh yes.
There, and I think the Kaiser's somewhere as well.
Jürgen, my co-author, tried to teach me Skat once, and I just completely failed. It's like a more complicated version of bridge, and I'm just not big-brained enough for it.
Yes.
Unlike your ordinary, common Saxon peasant or industrial worker in 1914 who could do this effortlessly.
Yes. Well, that's the joy of cards, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the display here. So.
That's fantastic.
Also, we have the black and yellow Habsburg flag.
Of course.
So, that's it for Temple at War 2026. I only regret not being able to stay longer and not shooting more footage. My thanks once again to the 73rd Fusiliers for their generous hospitality, and most especially to the Herr Hauptmann for the exceptionally kind gift of a pocket watch to fit my original leather wrist strap. You can expect to see me wearing it at future events. Speaking of which, I aim to be at the Seymour Trenches in Detling again for the open day on Saturday, May the 23rd. Do come along and say hello. I don't bite. As always, like, subscribe, comment, and buy our books. And of course, Providentiae Memor.